What's up guys, it is Sam here from Market Movers, and today I just want to talk about a different kind of topic that we haven't actually gone over before, and something we've never really discussed, and it's all to just do with money. And that's what drives the world, it's what everything is really about when it comes to economics or personal finance. But what I want to talk about today is the black market and the underground businesses that do go on around the world, and some of the biggest people that are involved in this, how much money they're making, and what industries they are involved in. So I think it'd be an interesting topic to look at, something that we've never really touched on before or ever talked about. I think we just need to look at what other kind of things are going on outside the general financial system that we all know about. So basically I'm going to talk about the black market and organized crime and how much money these guys are making annually per year. And yeah, it's pretty crazy, especially the top dog in the business. So without further ado, let's get straight into the video. Firstly, I just wanted to talk about what the black market is and just some facts about it as well, and what it entails, what are some of the risks, some of the crimes they're involved in, and just kind of what it's all about. So like, the black market is basically the illegal trade between goods, services, including drugs, weapons, human organs, counterfeit goods, also going down to like tobacco products, extortion, like gambling rings where they're not legally supposed to be gambling. So things like that. Like, it has a very, very wide variety on what it's actually kind of exposed to, and what actually is the black market, and what are these illegal services, like what they're actually all about. So it operates outside the legal framework, making it very, very difficult to track and regulate. So the figures that we do get are probably very incorrect, because nobody is actually correctly tracking this stuff. It's all kind of a bit of a guessing game, really, to see how much these people are making, because you're not going to have the Sinaloa cartel, for example, showing the Mexican authorities how much money they're making. It's all done on estimate and what they predict that they're actually going to be making, because it's completely out of the legal framework. So the black market, I think, is expected to be worth trillions of dollars globally every year. So it's an extremely lucrative business for organized crime gangs, and the black market has a lot of different effects on the economy, whereas it be lost tax revenue, because it's mostly dealt with in cash and cryptocurrencies. So a lot of this stuff doesn't actually go through the regulator, and they lose out on this tax revenue. Due to all of it being in cash and off the books, you have an increased level of crime in the areas where it is massive. So you look at areas of Mexico at the moment, the increased levels of organized crime there has gone through the roof. So you have a lot of then decreased consumer safety in them areas, and you just have a lot of issues surrounding them. So the black market is mostly associated with violence, corruption, and other kind of criminal activities, just like petty theft, just little scams, things like that. They all contribute to the black market. So I want to talk about the top guys in this kind of organization. So there's loads and loads of gangs across the world that you've probably heard of, and that are active to this day. People like to fantasize about these guys in movies such as like The Godfather and stuff, but there are actually genuinely crime gangs around the world that dominate the market and make billions and billions of dollars every year. So number 5 is Los Zetas. So you may have heard of these guys. They've been kind of publicized in the Narcos on Netflix, and they estimate that they're making $2 billion annually per year, which is a pretty crazy amount of money to be making on the black market. Again, this is basically under the table stuff, so we don't actually know how much they're making. It's probably more than this. Then number 4, the Sinaloa cartel. So the Sinaloa cartel is one of the most famous cartels, the most famous and most powerful cartel in Mexico, basically associated with El Chapo. They've recently been in the headlines for storming an airport in Mexico, and their revenue is expected to be around $3 billion per year, which is pretty nuts. That's a hell of a lot of revenue, and that's 2 out of the top 5 are based in Mexico. So the next biggest is the Camorra. So the Camorra are based out of Italy, so that's Sicily, Naples, southern Italy. A lot of association with the United States as well, and their main kind of things they do is like with drug dealing, racketeering, and so on and so on. And their annual revenue is expected to be around 4.9 billion every year. So that's just absolutely crazy amount of money, and they're one of the oldest crime organizations in the world. So number 2 here is basically the Sol and Teskaya Bravata. I can't say it, but anyway, it's basically the Russian mob. The Russian mob has an annual estimated revenue of $8.5 billion per year, which is a big increase for number 2. And the Russian mob is famous all around the world for its brutality and its organized crime and criminal activities that it does all around the world. And just the amount of money that they do make is absolutely crazy. But yeah, again, this stuff all off the books. It's probably more again than this. And then hitting in the top spot is the Yamaguchi Gumi, which is also kind of known as the Yakuza, and the revenue here is estimated at around 80 billion per year. So that is a hell of a jump. It's absolutely crazy. And look, the organized crime in Japan is known. Even if you go into like bathhouses and stuff, you can't have any tattoos on your legs because they're associated with organized crime. So that's just the top 5 organized crime gangs by revenue. The amount of money that they bring in is nuts. So you can imagine that it is worth trillions of dollars per year if every crime gang is added up together. So like the main industries that they do deal in, we kind of touched on it already, like it is drug trafficking, the production, the distribution, the sale of illegal drugs. It's probably one of the most profitable ways that they do make money. Human trafficking, including the smuggling of people for forced labor, sexual exploitation, and other forms of exploitation. Arms trafficking, so legal trade of weapons, ammunition, and explosives. Counterfeiting, money and goods, so the sale of counterfeit goods such as fake designer products or currencies, which is a huge thing. And number 5 is online fraud, hacking, identity theft. So they all form under cybercrime, and this has been growing massively at the moment. So cybercrime, you may see it like from different companies. They're getting hit with cyber attacks, basically ransomware attacks, and they're demanding huge ransoms to get their information back together, systems back online so they can operate their business normally. So that's just a bit about what the black market is, the amount of money that's going on, and some of the industries that are affected, what they're actually getting involved in, and just the sheer scale and money that is involved in it is absolutely crazy. So look, I hope you enjoyed it. It's a bit more off topic than usual. It's kind of want to look at more other things to look at to do with money. So we want to talk about a more broad range of things rather than just focusing on equities and markets and cryptocurrencies and stuff. I want to talk more about money in general and what that means and how it works. So guys, if you enjoyed this, do hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks a lot.